Hey guys, it's Will. In this video, we're going to go over what's next for Tesla stock. So, there's been a lot of people asking me questions about how do you know if Tesla is going to continue its upward direction? What are we thinking on this medium term, and what does it look like for the next couple of weeks? Well, you know, I think that it should stand to reason that as we've seen, this stock has been on an overall uptrend as we've seen in the past 2 weeks. But there's a couple things that right now kind of put it at a critical point. And if I had to just give you guys a straightforward analysis, we can see that it's holding above that 200-day moving average. So overall, we're looking bullish. But after pushing up what was all the way, I guess it was over $370 a share, we recently saw it pull back. And I'm looking at TSLL. This is the trade I'm making today. Not I just on this position, we're really not doing too good. We're still up on the week. As we made a great trade yesterday to actually capitalize on a big swing here, but after buying into what is TSLL, we've seen it swing downward. What is about a $500 downward direction here. So why might I stay in this position? And why haven't we sold at this particular time? And what is the outlook here for the technicals of Tesla? Well, there's a couple things. The RSI is starting to look more along the lines of a buy. So we saw it pull back. One thing that's really healthy is that we see it pull back. I would be more nervous about buying a stock or staying in a stock if it was always going straight up, right? So obviously, when you look at a company like TSLA, it's more of a long-term company. They're innovating in the realm of robotics. They're innovating in AI, adding data centers, utilizing technology like Starlink that is allowing them to be able to get internet from anywhere in the world. We're talking about innovations that really are not just in the automotive industry, but can be seen across the board in a time when AI and tech is in exponentially fast growth stage here in 2025. And so while we've seen it push up significantly and we see it pull back down here to what is validating the moving average, and we could see it stay above the moving average, but when we look at the indicators, in a short amount of time we went from overextended to now crossing over the MACD and dropping down on the RSI to looking more like a buy. So the technicals are still looking bullish. This right here is a little concerning. You see it cross over this moving average, the EMA. So what happens when it crosses over the moving average? Well, that could be indication that we could see it now act as a resistance, and it could be bearish for a short time. Now, I'm at a point where my next target for what we could see would be right around 1860, 1865. That's where we saw the last consolidation and last resistance. You can actually see it clearer on the line chart here. So right now we're kind of at a support, right? It kind of consolidated back here on November 8th. That's what it's been doing end of today. And the bull case would be that it's going to, continue to, that it is peaking out on the RSI, that it is peaking out on the MACD, and then we're going to see it continue its upward direction. The bear case would be, hey, it just crossed over the EMA. What happened last time it crossed over the EMA? Well, right here on October 29th, it crossed over the EMA, and we saw that EMA start to act as a resistance really until November 5th, right? We saw it cross back over, and it was then acting as a support. So when you see it cross below right there, um, there is times where it's crossed below and it's continued up. I mean, we could look at an example um, back here. We saw it cross below, but it still continued to higher highs. Over here, we saw it cross below, but it still continued to higher, or cross below right here, and then still rallied from 1280 to 1390, which is a significant, almost 10% increase. And so, even though we see it cross below this EMA, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue its downward direction. Have a really, really close eye on it, though. There was a lot of growth that we saw over the past week, but in retrospect, if we look at where we are, and you look on, we can get rid of some of these, and you look at our price point, we're at 1323. And the last time that we were at 1323 was really right here at in April of 2022. So April 2022, guys, that was over 2 years ago. Um, and so, do you think that like we have seen more innovations and more growth and more, I mean, just overall inflation, but I mean, we're talking about 2 years of innovation that has taken place. Could we see it, you know, continue up above where it was valued, the stock, previously in 2022? I think absolutely. So, the fundamental case is nice. The fundamental case is bullish. The technical case is looking like either this is a pullback to continue its upward direction, or we're about to see it start to continue into more of what would be a bullish trend. I mean, on the short 5 minutes, of course, we're talking about just a 12 hours that it's started to sell off, down from 365 down to what is 323. And, to see it continue its sell off, again, we're at a critical point. You guys can see this consolidation here. So let's see, is it going to bounce? Are we going to see it continue that upward direction that it just had, 2 days ago here on Sunday, that it was priced right there? Is it gonna, it's stopping to where it got to on Sunday, and we're gonna see it continue to rally, or are we at a point where, hey, this thing, if we mark it down in a bearish outlook and we kind of look at where it's going, even now it's like, oh, we might have some room for this thing to, well, continue to sell off. I don't know that it's that way. I mean, there's a few things. If you leave that, if we look kind of on that shorter term, we look on that 1 week, I would say that from here, there's kind of this trend that started to happen right here. But you see, it is getting smaller. So now it's kind of like, hey, are we going to see it continue this, or are we going to see it continue? So I think Fibonacci would be something to look at. So go from the top down in this trend, we go to the low. It's the lowest point, and then where we could see it, if we see it get back to previous levels. Let's say we see it get back to previous levels right there. Technically, it's saying a bullish case for this, that it would continue up, would be a buy somewhere around 337. Now, we were at 337 earlier today around 9 or 10 a.m. And then we sold down to what is 322. And so we sold off, quite a bit throughout the day today. And so to say that it could be that it's going to be a while before we see it push back to 337. And the thing that happens is if we push back to 337, we're still kind of, see this consolidation right here. Then there's a support here, consolidation. There's a support. There's also this clear previous support right at that golden ratio at 337, that even if it gets back up here, it could potentially, like, that would be the point at which we would see it get rejected. We do see actually right now the next point where it could get rejected would be right here at $330. You guys see that support? There's a support, some consolidation is where we could see it get rejected, and that would kind of continue its downward trend. However, if we are, hey, look at this, we're right at this consolidation, previous resistance, we're at the support. This would be kind of that critical time. We see that overlap with the trend, that we would see it bounce. And then if we bounce again, that next level would be right here, 330. And then after that, we would see up here around 337. To get back to previous highs, we're talking about, this is why I purchased right here. And we've had a profitable trade leading up to this, but now, as you guys saw in the P&L, we are down. But as we could see what that kind of looks like if we continue the upward direction, it's 11% on Tesla, right? So 11% on Tesla. So if we go over to TSLL here, we could see that was actually kind of what I'm looking at. You guys see, here's my purchase price. We saw it sell off, still sold off. But again, if we get back here, that would be about a 27% increase, 24% increase. So going to keep you guys updated on the position. I think that, I showed you guys how much we win. We had some great trades that we capitalized on this run up here where we made $1,500, right? I think it was right here, $1,500 trade. We made a $567 trade yesterday, right here, and then now we're right here at a $500 red, right? So it's like you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But definitely, what I'm looking at here for today is to see, it's not a perfect trend, but there is an upward direction right here that we see. And is it going to validate and bounce? And if it does, we're in a good position. If we drop into like a 30 minutes, right here, you could see it's also just touching that moving average, the 200-day moving average, which could indicate that it's going to bounce, right? So that's another indication. Of course, it's going to have to push through that moving average here, the EMA. But oftentimes, as you can see, that is a place where we see a lot of critical points happen. So if you look here, it's kind of bouncing at the moving average. Same thing here. We come up, it crossed below. It was kind of bearish, pushed back above. And usually, as you can see here in our previous bull runs, this moving average has acted as a support for the most part, right? And so now we're back down, we've corrected, and we're touching that moving average. Are we going to see it continue its upward direction? That's what the technicals look like. The MACD and the RSI looking like a buy, but just because something's going down, oftentimes a stock will continue in its overall direction. And so the overall direction is up, but just today we've seen what was a 15% sell-off. So that's the update for today, guys. Of course, we're not down 15%. We, managed our risk, and we're down just a fraction of that. But it's still, right now would be a volatile time in the market. We saw Nvidia on a tear. We saw Google doing well. We saw Amazon and Microsoft doing well today as well. And we also saw ON Semiconductor up on the day. And so you got a few really good companies doing very well. And then, you have Tesla kind of correcting after what was a massive run that we saw over the past week. So I'll keep you guys updated on the position. For those of you guys that would like to watch me trade live tomorrow morning, I would encourage you guys to check out Stockmates. That second link in the description. Just a friendly reminder, if you guys want to watch me trade live, that is the only place and only thing that I offer. So again, if you have thought about learning, you're saying, I want to maybe learn how to trade part-time, or if you have a job and you're trying to learn how to invest your money in tech and AI companies, then the best place to do it is by learning at StockMate. Get to watch me trade live every single day, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.